talk about breasts.
Let's talk about you and me.
Let's talk about all the good things
and all the bad things. Hey, welcome to episode 5 of Boobs. Thank you for coming back. If you're new here, thanks for coming. We hope you enjoy BoobTube and go back and watch some of our other videos. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us at BoobTube Podcast so that you can stay tuned for more and be the first to know about everything we have going on with BoobTube.
Yes.
So, I am Jaleesa, your best friend, Jaleesa.
I am Chantel. Hey.
And here we are, episode 5. So let's get into it. In our previous episodes, we discussed a lot with the breast, and while keeping breast abreast in these conversations, we've been talking about fitting, sizes, styles of bras, shopping for bras, etc. So now we want to talk about boobs on the tube. So we're going to talk about boobs in the media now. With the Oscars just passing, we're going to talk about them in the media.
Before we get to that, let's take it to the streets and hear what folks are saying with BoobTube on the move.
Do you think breasts are shown in the media more than male parts?
Yeah. Yes.
How do y'all feel about that? You okay with it?
I have no.
Catch my attention.
More titties.
Dang, man.
I'm
can
upset.
never get too many titty pics.
It upsets
They don't exist.
It upsets me.
It doesn't exist. Sorry.
Do you think that breasts are shown in the media more than male parts?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about breasts in the media?
You know what? Let's normalize uneven breasts. I'm tired of seeing same breasts. Everybody's breast isn't the same. And I'm also tired of seeing like super perky. My breasts don't come up to here. Like, stop showing people that. It's not natural.
Can you think of a wardrobe malfunction when it comes to that comes to mind involving breasts?
Oh yeah, like nip slips.
Oh, yep. That would be it.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of breasts in the media?
Oh, you said in the media?
In the media.
Okay.
Not just breast, period. Just breast in the media. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Nothing at all.
Like on TV, movies, videos.
Nipple slip.
Titties.
Okay, nipple slip.
I guess.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, that's it.
Any popular breasts, just anything.
Any popular?
I don't know.
I didn't know titties could be popular.
No.
There are celebrities that are kind of known for their breasts, huh?
Queen Latifah, maybe?
I don't think she's known for
I don't know.
breasts.
I don't know.
I don't know.
No? Who? I don't know who knows.
Not her. I can tell you that much.
Okay, well, I don't know then. I just work here. I just work here part-time on the weekends.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of breasts in the media?
Free the nipple.
Free the nipple, what did you
There's a
say?
stigma. I used to live in Europe.
Okay.
And so it's just very different here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very stigmatized here.
Tell us about Europe.
Sexualized.
Oh, it's sexualized here.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is it like in Europe?
It's you could go topless
Okay.
in a lot of places and they don't think about it like
Okay.
that. Just like if a guy goes without a shirt. If you can see a guy's nipple, it's okay, but you see a girl's nipple and it's like
Put it away.
Offended.
It's
Yeah,
a,
it's
it's
offensive.
a stigma there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in Europe it's not that way. I mean you don't just walk around topless, but it's not sexualized like it is here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Yeah, Europeans. All right. So, okay, Queen Latifah, making it into the.
Listen, that one just about took me out because, I didn't even understand how, of all celebrity breasts, these were the ones that popped in your head.
Maybe he's a fan, but she do have some heavy ones.
She got to reduce, though.
But if that's the reduction, I mean, it's still pretty big. I'm just saying. She is
Well,
known.
that's the reduction.
She is known for having large breasts. So.
Yes, that is true. When I think about it, and the fact that he said that, and the way his friend was like,
Not
but not her. Because I mean, I was thinking maybe like Dolly Parton,
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson, something like that. Showing my age, but then he said Queen Latifah, and then I think about when she was in this movie called Bessie. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a scene where she was like sitting naked in a mirror at like a vanity, and I remember seeing memes about that. Like people were perturbed by this image in their brains or something. I was just like,
But I think because too, most of the parts she's played have been not
right,
that, you
Right.
know.
so they saw it and they were just like, but I feel like the memes and stuff I saw were kind of like ew about it. So that's why with his friend it was like, but not her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
And I think that goes to show too how like I don't consider Queen Latifah to be like a sexualized woman.
Right.
So maybe that was too in his friends, like not her
Right.
mind, because she isn't the typical sexualized woman with breasts.
Right.
Whereas, not to say that Dolly Parton is, but she could show some cleavage and
Kinda.
stuff. So.
She cannot not show cleavage. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And then Pamela Anderson definitely is.
You know,
Sexualized,
it's
so.
full Baywatch for days.
Yeah.
So another thing they mentioned were nip slips, and for me, when I think of nip slip, I think of the infamous Janet
Of
Jackson
course.
moment.
Yeah. I
And
don't think there's been another one like it.
yeah, I don't know if anyone would be able to top that one.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. But there's so much less censorship these days. It probably wouldn't even shock the world
No,
for
not
a
at
nip
all.
slip.
Yeah.
So
But obviously, I wonder if that has happened, in real life too for some folks. So
possibly.
but there's only that one time that everybody, and if you were to say nip slip, I'm guaranteed everybody's going to think about that one. So.
Right. The only other thing I could think about now was I think it was just a nude slip. Where it was like I think Cardi B or something, like she thought she was sending something directly to
Oh.
Is she with Offset? Yeah, Offset. Don't kill me, people. Don't kill me. I just had to be sure to say the right name.
Yes.
Okay. So I think she like tried to send him something directly, but accidentally posted it to everyone or something for a sec.
Happen.
And she was nude or something, and then like my friend was telling me that people were like, why her nipples look like that or something, but
Oh goodness.
they were really talking about her areolas.
Okay.
Apparently, I didn't see it, but they were saying like her areolas were big or something, and people were talking about it. I don't know.
I guess people don't know about the areolas and its different sizes, but okay.
Also, her breasts aren't meant to suit you. They are hers.
There you
so
go.
leave her alone.
Yeah, all right. So nip slips, and then free the nips.
Yeah, that's something I've seen. I didn't know much about, but I've seen free the nip before.
I think they're pretty free. Compared to the male parts and everything, but I guess when thinking about freedom to be and show up how you want to, I in the media at least, I think they're pretty free.
Yeah, I would say so. They're flying high
Yeah.
from what I can see.
Yeah.
And then they talked about, what else did they talk about on there? Freedom nips. Oh, the men.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Aside from the Queen Latifah thing, the men, it seemed like a very general consensus that it is okay that they show women their naked parts more than men in the media.
And I wonder, I don't have the travel experience the man talked about, in Europe and everything like that, and how it's different over there and how here we sexualize things.
Mm-hmm.
And so women have always been the object of sexualization.
Sex sells.
We're put out there more.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I wonder if the tables were turned and they parts were showing more how they would feel about that.
Girl, some of them probably be crying.
You said women?
No, the men.
Oh, the men be crying. Okay.
Some of them be like, talk all that mess.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
I understand sex sells and stuff. And yeah, women are over sexualized for sure. And the thing is, of all parts that they will show, that they're more inclined to show, will be the breasts. They'll show the butts of both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the butts that media would like to see are the larger butts,
Yeah.
the thicker butts.
Mm-hmm.
Not really showing that much. Not in like mainstream media type
Yeah.
stuff in films. That's not what they're showing. But I mean,
Was
you think so?
there? Oh no, because when I'm thinking about like when you mentioned how they're showing the different breasts. Um, we might have to pause this, but with the woman, didn't she say something about they're always perky?
Mm-hmm. She did.
Yeah.
Yes, she did say that they were always perky. Always, she was like, "I want to know they're not up here."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely. They always make them like that. You got to be all Lola Bunny,
Yes.
and it's another cartoon character that was like that, but we'll just stick with Lola Bunny.
But even it was in Roger Rabbit. That's one.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I just couldn't think of her name.
I don't know her name either, but I
But
remember you
yes,
was talking
Roger
about
Rabbit.
So.
Again, showing our ages. This is showing my age. Everything is just showing my age. But yeah, Roger Rabbit, and it was still just like yeet,
yeah,
yeet, like that.
So even in the animation, you got to subscribe to these perfect breasts that, on all honesty, do not exist unless you go get them. You're paying for them or whatever.
Right,
so.
And they're always stuck together and up to your chin. Like, I'm all about uplifting. But let's have a natural lift,
exactly.
Because those are like. It's a lot, but hey, this is the world we live in.
And I think the more women or even men, if they see these perfect images of breasts in the media, that's a misconception of what really goes on in life. So
those breasts don't have the beat drop when they take the bra. They don't have that beat drop.
That gravity ain't got to them yet.
No. Theirs just stay right there.
Yeah.
It's just like Then they get the cartoon eyes, the big bulging hard eyes.
So yeah, there's definitely a deliberate showing of breasts in the media and ice on the nipples. That's something new to me. Like I didn't realize that. I guess they would do that to make the women's nipples harder.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's like why we got to go through all of that.
I've seen it over time in like different shows and movies, but yeah, they definitely would do that so that the nipples could stay hard and that they could be like at attention and so that they could see, so it could be appealing to the viewer.
Again, sexualized everything. Like the women's breast just has to be appealing.
Non-hard nipples are not appealing to the world. Apparently, they don't exist.
Yeah, and I was really what was I watching recently? Some shows. It's probably a mixture of different ones, but I can see very clearly, that the women's nipples are hard, and no one is doing any like through the shirt. There is no. I don't know. Some women feel uncomfortable about that, so there's no covering of it. But I don't know. Should we like? Is that a thing? Should you feel embarrassed because your nipples are hard? And if more people, if we're seeing it a lot on TV, I don't know.
I guess because when you do see it on TV and stuff, it's more sexualized.
That's true.
Than anything like, oh, look at the headlights on her.
I would think it would be sexualized if we see in our society anyway. If it's seen on TV as being sexualized, so even as it translates into our real life, it will be sexualized as well. So I can see why women feel uncomfortable at times because what they see on TV and what's picked up on.
True.
Portrayed.
I guess for men, it's just like erect nipples means
you're ready.
No. Yeah, like it's a green light or something. So they probably see it, and that's where they're like, hard eyes, just
keep mind your business.
So
yeah,
there's a lot there when it comes to breasts in the media for sure. With them, the nip slips, the popular ones because they're out there.
Yeah.
And then just the fact that they're showing women more, and free the nip movement. Much success to y'all.
Yeah. Keep on. I think y'all are free enough.
Right. Like we really pretty free. No one's really stopping us. No. But power to the movement.
Yes.
Speaking of the free the nip movement, I ended up seeing this post on Instagram that was talking about it. So let's read it for a second.
You sent that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Facebook/Instagram lifts naked breasts ban for trans ladies, not for biological women. That's the headline. And then Facebook to allow pictures of naked breasts for trans and non-binary people, but not for cisgender women.
I find that very interesting.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's like, how you gonna not allow it for the original woman, but you could allow it for the trans? And it's nothing against being trans, nothing like that
no.
at all. But I'm just like,
To me, it's about being fair.
right. So I'm like, so a trans woman could show their breasts, but a biologically a biological woman or
A woman
born
born.
woman cannot. And it's not to say like that's my desire. Like she said, it's just about being fair.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's a little backwards. So then like now we'll see like pictures of trans
But to me, that does it just doesn't make any sense because breasts are breasts, apparently.
Right.
And then like it's like, okay, a trans person can be shown, but what about women who get augmentation? Like where is the line there other than someone has the title of trans?
Right.
And it just doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense, Facebook, please.
I can't. And then like even with that, we have experiences where we try to post things and being in the industry that we're in, and sometimes I think if you're just not like have a large following, like a major corporation or brand or something, then they're flagging us for our
I'm flagged right now. Like, and it's a full coverage bra. Like everything is covered up. It looked like a vest.
And you still have to, and you have to go through and it's like little things that you have to send to Facebook and Instagram for them to allow your stuff to be posted. Otherwise they'll not post it or they'll take it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and the reason this specifically says because they're like body parts showing,
right,
which there are no body parts showing.
They were like, it does not like adhere to our norms and stuff. And
yes.
I'm like,
now what's your norm? Because I'm confused at the moment.
Because then like I'll literally get on and be, especially like under my uplifting account, with there being lingerie and full figure and full bust models. Like there's a lot of breast stuff going on my uplifting page. And then like some of this stuff that you end up seeing, even when they're just like modeling brands and stuff, like sometimes it looks like soft porn.
No, it is.
Because there's some people that's like, they're all about body positivity and stuff, but you're like showing just about everything.
Yeah.
and you shaking it, you spread eagle. Like there are a lot of different things I see. And I was like, meanwhile, I'm getting flagged because somebody's wearing a bra.
Yeah.
And I don't even have like that like risque, super risque type stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have like my customers aren't.
Because I've seen some risque stuff. I'm like, hey, you can see right through that lace, definitely. And it's just breasts. Like,
yes,
that's it. But now people can go without a bra or top and show their breasts. I mean, again, I don't necessarily want to. Actually, I don't. It's not even necessary. I don't want to. But if I wanted to, one day wake up, I can't because I'm a naturally born woman.
But I'm just wondering, like, what was the discussion behind this decision on Facebook's behalf for them to do this? Because, like, why?
Yeah, it does not make any sense unless, again, it's to promote and uplift those who identify as trans. Okay, but I do think there are other ways to do that.
Right.
Because then, again, if that is the only thing showing, then everybody's gonna know you're a trans individual, and if that's the intent, it just doesn't make sense to me.
And then, like, what if it reverses? So, like, okay, and I'm trying to make sure I'm politically correct with all this. So, like, if it's a man who's a transgendered woman, what if they like allow stuff for women who are transgendered men? Like, are they gonna be like, oh, you could show your penises now or your balls?
I doubt it, because that's not the case even
and
now.
Then like, what if they want to be like just, well, if they are transgender in the genital area, usually they change the breast part too. But it's just like, at the end of the day, nudity is nudity
It
to
is.
me. Like regardless of if it's a man who is transgender to a woman,
Yeah.
or a woman transgender to a man, like it is what it is.
But then it's not really about the breast at this point. It really is just about individuals who are trans, because if if it doesn't adhere to the norms,
mm-hmm.
then what are your norms? Your norms were the breasts. I thought it was. But if you're
appears so.
making provisions, then it's not about the breasts. It's about women.
You think it's an attack on women?
I think it is.
And there you have it, folks. They attacking us. But no, like that's I know very controversial. I didn't even go into the comments because
Yeah.
Lord why.
Yeah.
But once that does come into play, I'm pretty sure a lot will be said.
But they're gonna have to do so much. Like if you allow this, there's gonna be some. I think there's gonna be so many other things that follow that it's gonna end up being reversed. I don't see it staying if you're not gonna be fair across the board for a lot of other things that are clearly gonna come down the pipeline. Like you said, what if men want women who are trans into men? What if they want to show themselves?
Right. Or are they finna allow the men who are transgendered women to start showing vaginas too? Like, where does it stop? No one's talking about butts, I guess. I guess butts are free game.
They always been
I know, like we already both have those. But it's like, all right, now we going into another territory. Because...
But the genitals are something different. I don't think they'll get into that. It's just always when it comes to breasts in the media, those like that's hey yeah, put them out there.
Meanwhile, you gotta go. Women who are breastfeeding gotta go into a little room. Yeah. We got to get on that another day. But I'm just saying, like, you can't even do something that is like natural as it gets.
Yes,
as humane as it gets,
and it's a baby attached. No, right. Put it away.
Right. So I'm just like, okay, but we can free the nip.
It just does not make sense.
Not to us. Maybe we're just simple-minded folk, and it's not meant for us to get it. But I'm saying that playing because I ain't simple-minded. It is the math ain't math.
It ain't, and I needed to because I don't like being not, being out here lost. And it's not fair. My whole thing is about being fair.
Yes, they got it though. I mean, I'm not trying to see any of it. I'm not even trying to see the soft porn that I accidentally.
But you just scrolling and it just pops up,
right? And I'm like, you over here shaking butt cheeks, and I can't even post a bra. Like, how did we get here? And it just comes so random too. Like, you're just enjoying life, and then they just start sending notifications from posts from 10 weeks ago talking about we removed it or something. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It just be so stupid.
Random.
And I'm feeling attacked. Like it's an attack on uplifting. I don't appreciate it. Don't appreciate it.
Here to hear. About this not showing male parts. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it was Queens of Comedy. If it wasn't Queens of Comedy, it was another comedy special with some more. And she touched on this, and this is back when Wesley Snipes was a big deal. Showing my age again. And she was like, she said, I want to know if Wesley is Nestle. And it's like, you're right. Because, well, I mean, that's not what I was thinking at the time. But I understood what she meant, because it's just like, hey, they're so quick to show us. The only thing, they'll show us a man's butt and stuff. It's like, men's butts are nice. They're cool to look at, but, that's the back. What about the frontals? It's not the same. It's not equal. And they'll show like everything on the woman.
Everything.
And I feel like they show the vagina the least. Mm-hmm. Breasts are at the top.
Yes.
And the butt, but like I said, the butts that they are showing, I guess in like more of the mainstream media or Hollywood and stuff, they aren't. It's butt. There's butt, then there's ass.
Okay.
They're not showing ass.
Yes.
They're showing butt.
Yes.
Just keep that at that. So I think that it's definitely unfair. And then it gets old. Like, I've even seen, there was something I watched randomly. You just watch these random movies sometimes. I didn't even finish it. It was pretty crappy. Something on Hulu. And there was a girl, she had like a very flat chest. Like it was mainly nipple. And she kept sleeping with people in the movie. Like in the short time that I watched it, I feel like she had slept with three different sex scenes or something. Not in a judgmental way or anything like that, but I'm just saying like it was so much sex in a short time frame, and every time it was just like so much emphasis on that nipple.
On not the breast.
It was just like this, like it was like, like
so no matter if
this is not even my breast. This is my chest. Like it was like this. It was so small.
So they just gotta go for the nip.
Yes, and it was just like even when it wasn't, it was like it's like there was some part they were showing the sex or something, and then it was like, okay, focus to the nipple that was like sticking out. Like maybe they were missionary or something. And just start showing this one, and I'm just like, and I like maybe the man started grabbing it or something, and I was like, please stop showing this nipple.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying it's not appealing to me, of course, no matter the size of the breast, but I'm just like, can we focus on something else?
Yeah, I think it's unfair. I'm all about being fair. And so if you're going to show one gender's body parts all the time, granted, we have more to work with, but still, that's not the point.
We have more to show.
Then you need to be showing other stuff too, or not at all.
Right. Like, on top of that, like our stuff, you could see through our clothing. Like you could see our breasts. Yeah. You could see our butts. We can't see any of that.
No.
And then you get to the rated R, you still can't see it.
Let it be shown. Let it be shown.
Absolutely.
No, but yeah, I think in all fairness, if women are going to be sexualized as they continue to be, then make it the same way for men too. And I guarantee you there will be a change in how this country views.
I told you they'd be crying. Yeah. Some of them would be crying.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah.
What?
We was cold too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold. Our nipples were hard. And you just seem to have evaporated. But whatever.
And it makes, and I like seeing this thing in the media, it kind of, I think it plays a part in like how, of course, young girls see themselves and how they want to grow up and what they want to do. Men ain't got, like, they can still continue to dream about these other things in life because they not being portrayed out there and be like, oh, this is normal, this isn't normal. Whereas girls, we're trying to figure stuff out, think we go through more because we see more. And you either want to be like have the big breast or have the perky breast, and you're comparing yourself so much more than the dudes do.
Definitely. And even just thinking about us being over sexualized, and then thinking about seeing how they could see what we have outside of the screen, and that just reminded me of this past weekend. I was out and I walked past many people, but specifically when I walked past these two dudes, I literally heard this guy tell his friend that I think he specifically said, she got some big ass titties. And I said, what did you say? And he was like, huh? What? And I was like, what did you say?
Well, he didn't even think it was a thought. And then
and he was like, and the thing is, my shirt, I had on a t-shirt, not fitted at all.
Yeah.
It was nothing sexy going on or nothing. It was a loose t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really?
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I was just talking to my friend. I was like, about me?
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
Lies.
Maybe. And I was like, yeah, you were.
You got called.
Yeah. I'm like, y'all, wait.
But like, we were to say something like that, it would be completely like a whole different conversation and tone and all that stuff.
You can't walk by and be like, girl, he got an eraser. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. Like, what you say? They be ready to punch you. Say something like that. Be like, well, you do.
Yeah. So.
But I told him I flipped my blessing into a business. So, period.
I love it. I love it.
Flips braid.
Yes.
Flips back. All right.
So, yeah. So, we know about Baywatch, and that was a show that was, back in
the slow motion run, the infamous slow motion run, for sure.
Are there any other shows you can think of that kind of that would compare to how?
Not the slow motion run, but I could think just where I feel like it's a lot of breasts going on. My friend had me watching the show Claws. You ever heard of it with
I've-
Niecy Nash?
mhm.
And I mean, I get it's part of their character too. So
Well,
they dress.
Niecy is pretty.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
busty and voluptuous.
Yeah.
So like the rest of them is Niecy Nash, and then I don't know the two other ladies' names, and then Karuchi. Karuchi.
Okay.
That's her name, right?
I don't
Yes.
know.
The one that dated Chris Brown. You know, I'm not big on my celebrity people like
I'm
that.
not
Y'all should see.
either.
I be living in my own world.
Me
I can't
too.
live in theirs. So it was like the way they do nails and the way they dress and stuff. It's always like kind of it's like always sexy and tight and like everything's always like that. And especially well, actually, 3 of the 4. One of the ladies kind of like prudish or something, and the other 3 basically look like sexy all the time.
Yeah.
Like they dress more provocatively all the time.
Okay.
So yeah, their breasts are always out, and especially Niecy Nash, like we said, you know, she's already busty and voluptuous. No Baywatch runs, but you're definitely gonna see some breasts.
Yeah.
When you watch Claws.
Okay. Yeah, and I can't think of any other at this time.
Mm-hmm. No? Nope. I got nada. Nothing that's coming up. Maybe some cartoons.
Yeah, and the cartoons are definitely they're not the little Looney Tunes.
Right. They are not.
They are definitely coming into that world where sexualized and animation as well. So.
Yep. Definitely are.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of a show like Claws, where you have women wearing more provocative clothing, that reminds me of like the bras that we see in the media to support these breasts.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I guess I see both. I see some that are proper fitting bras, and then I see some that are ill fitting bras. A lot of them, of course, are just the bras that are just to make your breast do the Lola Bunny. So that's that. To me, I feel like that's uncomfortable to always just be like, yeep.
Yeah,
that's kind of a lot for me. But a lot of times I've seen some that didn't fit well on people on certain shows, but it's just like, I guess, normalized.
Yeah. Especially when you're going for that certain look, you know,
Yeah.
you just, and I think you get used to, and maybe I guess depending on how the woman is built, you kind of get used to wearing some of the same things as well and what production has on hand. But I can definitely tell when it's small, when it's like a cutting bra that's cutting through them breasts, because the breasts are way too big and the bra is definitely small, but it's for a sexualized reason.
Right.
And then typically, I know you can use padded bras too to kind of
give them a little a little extra cup.
Yeah. So like going back to when you talk about the woman who was pretty much flat chest and just had the nipple in the movie, like that's not normal. Like we don't normally see. I won't say it's not normal, but in media, that's not typical for them to just probably cast an actor who doesn't have.
I did think about that. I was like, I'm surprised that they kept her as the actress for this leading role.
Maybe there's a movement for that.
Because I was like, she literally has a nipple and an areola attached to a little bit of skin.
Okay.
So like, I was surprised that they casted her, but like at the same way, I was kind of like, kudos to them for keeping her and working with her. Like they knew they wanted a woman having sex all these times in the movie. They knew they wanted to show it. They made it work.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't have a lot of body at all. Not saying you have to be naked in the media at all. Just saying.
Yeah. So yeah. And then I haven't paid much attention to like the ill fitting of bras and what they look like in the media, but it's becoming more apparent as I'm meeting new women and seeing how bras fit on women. But I'm looking at that in the media as well, but you can definitely start to point out some things.
Yeah, I mean, because of being in the breast business, I look at breasts like all the time.
You look at it from a different perspective than I do. You look at it from the everyday wear of a
Mhm.
woman. Where me, I'm looking more as the athletic piece of
Right.
if women are working out, how much they bouncing. So that's how I'm
Mhm.
looking at it.
Right. I'm always looking for like, man, I just want to give her a good bra or
Yeah.
like get her and all that stuff. And then that's a thing within itself, you know, even approaching people for that. But I think that for me, I get to see it on, I think I see it on the screens. The most recent thing I saw, of course, some reality shows, but you know, they're just wearing their regular stuff. So some of those aren't fitted right. Then there's stuff like, I watched Tyler Perry's The Sisters. So, I mean, we know Tyler Perry and costume and stuff it has evolved over the years.
Yeah.
You know, we can appreciate
Yeah.
that and point that out. He's
Yeah.
doing great things.
Yeah.
So, but on that episode, it specifically, I feel like the main girl, Andy, it seems to always be just kind of like up. She has, I would say, probably like a C cup or so, CD cup, that she's pretty small around. But certain things, it's still just like, just even when she's like wearing suits and stuff, it's like, oh, let's make it poke out. And then there's the other one that's more curvy, and she has more breasts. Danny, that's her name on the show. I had to think about it. But even like I was looking at something the other day, she just had on like a regular like V-neck black shirt, but it's like they had all the breasts squeezing through the V like that, and it was like unnecessary cleavage, or something, or like, let me not say unnecessary, maybe forced. I'll say like forced cleavage with whatever bra she had on to make it like that, and I was like, eh.
And then, I mean, if it were, and then in this particular scene, was she at work? Where like,
no, she was not at work. They had met up after work, but just like at the friend's house.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they went to a bar or anything. It was just like, but I feel like on that show, from what I've seen, they always kind of missed the mark with her.
Okay.
And I feel like it's because she's curvier or something. I don't know what the real reason
hard
is.
To style her,
right?
Or something?
Like it's something with the styling, because I've seen it over time with the seasons, and the breasts, they're okay most times, but sometimes it's kind of like.
I ask that just because I when I think about like women portrayed on TV who are in professions, sometimes they are like kind of set up in a way where their breasts are. It's like some of the things they talk about, like sexual harassment or stuff like that. But then the women in the media are sometimes portrayed that way,
right?
You know, like they're sexualized. So I don't know. It's conflict.
Very sexualized. That's for certain.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the media defines as like perfect or attractive breasts?
Breasts that don't move when we ain't got no bra on.
No beat drop breasts.
They there. They always at attention, whether you call them or not. And they're
true.
even. Like, that's not true. And I think that just gives a false representation of what goes on in the lives of women.
Yes, that's true. I think that as long as, I don't know. I mean, I feel like every type of breast there is out there, like somebody's gonna like it. Like Miss Pearly say on Friday. I know somebody who like it. So like, I believe that there are breasts for all the type of men out there and women, whoever enjoys breasts.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's like the perfect. I would describe the perfect ones as what you said, and
what
the nipples are.
What the media wants.
Yeah, the perfect ones for the media.
Yeah.
I definitely not just perfect overall, because mine aren't the media breasts. So
definitely, I got mama breasts.
I just got breasts. No kids, just breasts. A lot of breasts. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
And I wonder how these casting calls go. Like how do they? Do they already have a set script, like what they want to see in these breasts? Like they already have the pictures that they want. I wonder what that looks like.
Maybe it's like a Players Club, the way he was when Diamond came in there to try to see. He was kind of like, all right, turn around.
Yeah.
All right. They like look to the side.
Yeah.
Or take your bra off. Put it back on.
Oh, that
Okay.
didn't drop enough. Or that dropped.
Somebody
too
bring the
much.
ice. Come here right quick.
Let's time it. Okay.
Got a pretty solid nipple erection, but we're looking for something a little harder. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how this goes,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah.
They would have to just. I think they should just take the women as they are, which it seems like that's what they're doing. It don't seem like they're discriminating and being like, "Oh, we just chose this actress for her breasts."
They ain't not gonna have no OLTs, Olay titties, and some of these things. They're not gonna do that.
They are not. If so, they're not gonna show some nudity with it at all.
No. I mean, she might just stay in her bra, which
Right.
again, really good supportive bras can bring them things up.
That would be like what was it, Professor Clump, Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
Then they showed her with the saggy breast. The old lady, I can't even think of her name. You know what I'm talking
One
about?
of his characters.
Yeah, which was him,
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. The grandma or somebody.
Oh, I'm not gonna remember.
And
the
without
names.
the teeth, and how she was coming for him, and then her breasts like fell all the way. She had a beat drop. It was it went like from the beat drop to the bridge. Real quick. There was nothing in between the beat drop and the bridge.
Yes. Very well taken. Do you feel representation in the media?
I mean, I guess so. Maybe not so much mainstream, and just for me, just thinking about like my body type or my breast type in particular, not so much. I feel like I might have seen something more like it in like reality TV versus like Hollywood or something.
Okay.
And because the people that are in a more mainstream fields, a lot of them aren't real breasts.
Mhm.
That's that. Some of them in reality TV aren't real either.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So for me, it's few people that are out there with real breasts that are large, that are just, showing up and showing out like that.
Yeah.
All the big breasts I can think of are not real.
And the ones I'm thinking of, I think of Queen Latifah, of course, too, but
Please.
Dolly Parton.
Not her.
Not her. But you have I when it comes to representation, I also would like to see, you have, it seems like people are proportioned in a specific way, whereas you have women who have large breasts, small waists, and you don't necessarily see a whole lot of that. I'm even thinking of Sherry Shepherd, like she's definitely
she's short too.
Yeah. So, but you don't always see those ladies.
Right.
They're a few.
And then most of the women, like, if the breasts are large, then is usually a more plus size woman.
Yes.
Than someone that is, what's below plus size? Regular size?
Right.
What's regular? I don't know.
A size.
Anything, whatever's under, you got plus size, and you just got, I don't know, regular and petite. So I guess you don't see it so much on the other sizes that are not plus size.
And I think they confuse folks when it's like plus size. And maybe this is a modeling thing or something like that. Plus size doesn't always mean big breasts, and big breasts don't always mean plus size.
Exactly. Because that was definitely a thing, like we talking about bra shopping and stuff. Like, I wasn't large around, I just had big breasts.
Yeah.
And I had, I guess, a regular size body or whatever.
Regular body, big
I mean, I wasn't petite, I wasn't plus, so I was just like regular, and it was just there. They were just,
they were there
poking.
They were there.
So
ready to get some support.
Right.
Yep. All right. So, and we know that representation doesn't just have to be about size. It can be color and shape, similarities in nipples. So, like thinking about how breasts are represented in the media when it comes to color, like or shape. That's a big thing. Shape. Again, I don't think you're gonna find a lot of uneven looking breasts.
You know where I feel like I'm probably represented, and this isn't even something I watch, but I'm pretty sure that there's representation there for me.
Where?
Porn.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
probably where the
Yeah.
sizes and the colors and
Yeah.
shapes and all that are.
Yeah.
Everything else, not so much.
Yeah.
I mean, Niecy Nash is holding it down. I don't even know if her breasts are real or fake at all. I think they're real,
I think they're real,
but I don't know for sure. I don't know that woman. I wasn't
I
there.
don't
I wasn't with
either.
her, but I think they're
Yeah.
real. But I think that there's so much. Let's see, we got shape, color, size, areola.
Which I don't think a lot of people know what the areola
Yes.
is.
So here's the areola. Here's the nipple. The areola is the skin around the nipple.
That's gonna have a different color than the breast itself.
Yes, yes. It should be the same color as the nipple though. It should be.
Yeah.
Might be some anomalies out there. Love them the same.
Love
Okay.
them.
There's also representation when you think about so like mastectomies and people who have or breast cancer survivors. So that's out there. I feel like you can see it in like social media and stuff.
Well, yeah, because that comes from like photo stock too. Some of
Right.
that stuff. Like you actually have to be intentional about like causes in order to do that. But if you're watching TV or a movie, I don't think you're gonna see women who have had mastectomies.
The only thing I could think of recently was the show where the lady said that she survived breast cancer, but she had like muscle from her back put in there so that because she didn't want implants.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I had seen about it. But they weren't showing her breasts. She had on cute dresses and stuff. She looked regular to me.
Yeah.
It just gave her a little bump. Even with that, it was more than that girl that was on the TV with the nipple.
Keep going back to
so
that.
flat. It was so flat.
Yeah.
I was like, this woman just has a nipple.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going in on her. Like I get it. All breasts are not created equal, and that is fine.
Yeah.
It was just the strong emphasis they kept putting on her breasts. I was like, okay, people.
Making it a point. So again, how
Like,
flat or how big you are, that nipple gonna be the main point that they gonna go to.
Right.
Yeah.
And then areolas. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of like what they were saying about Cardi B. They were like, why they look like that? So, like, from what I heard, she has like larger areolas. And I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
There's large areolas, there's small areolas, there's big nipples.
Yeah.
And small areolas. Like you can get it. They come in so many different ways.
And I think that's the part, like that could be education. Like if you're gonna be looking at a woman's body, don't sexualize it, but like learn about it. And so like there are different breast types, shapes, they come in so many different sizes. And with the areola, if it's big, like so it won't be alarming, and just so like girls can know that they're normal, like it is okay. Your breasts are not gonna look like your friend's breast. So
absolutely. And that made me think about another thing I saw. Like, you know how like sometimes with areolas, like some women have like kind of like the little bumps around it or something.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing a meme or something that said something like, they were like, what are those little bumps there for or something? And somebody replied saying it was Braille for
oh my goodness,
lick me or something. I was like,
oh
my God.
No.
But again, all breasts don't look the same. Sometimes you can see the little bumps around, sometimes not. It just depends. But ultimately, we really shouldn't. Like, we can look for representation, but like, you shouldn't be looking to kind of just compare. Like,
because be
that's not
satisfied with what you have.
Like. Yeah.
Yes, there are options to change what you have, but why go through all that when you can just accept what it is?
Okay, so recently I saw there was like a trending diagram where it showed a baby in the womb. We always seen those diagrams in science class and stuff. But one thing that we didn't realize was the color, the race of it. So the reason that particular image was trending was because it was the image of a black child in a womb, and people were saying how like we never realized that like that it was always a white child
Mm.
in the diagrams that we always saw until you saw someone do a black one. It's like, dang, like the things you don't even think about.
I know. Yeah, I think it's because we get conditioned to seeing the same thing. But I've seen other like breast diagrams, like the different shapes, and I've seen those in different colors. And to me, that stood out because it is showing representation. Not only the different colors, but the different sizes, but the colors definitely stood out. That it wasn't just this peach color. It was white, but you saw your chocolate ones.
Right. So I don't think I've seen any of the diagrams, at least like not of the anatomy and stuff, in the different shades. So, but I mean, it's good that they're out there. I definitely have seen other things that show different shades, colors, sizes, things like that. And I see representation there for sure.
And I will say, I only see it on social media.
Right.
Like whether you can download those things. It's not
Right.
something I would see in a doctor's office.
Exactly. I only see it there.
Yeah. All right. So, like the media, we've covered and uncovered
A lot.
a lot when it comes to breasts. Be sure to tune in next week as we dive deep into the effects of the media has on our breasts. Also, don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, share out our channel, and follow us at BoobTube Podcast on the socials. Feel free to DM us and email us with any questions or comments that you may have.
See you next week.
Bye.